So let's start speaking about who am I? I started my journey when I was young. I always enjoyed to play with PCs from the super old and super funny Commodore 64. And I discovered how fun it is to work in the field of image processing computer vision when I was at the university. In that period, I worked on my PhD thesis during the PhD in the field of machine learning, manifold learning. So something that is not exactly computer vision, but it is a very, very close field. In that period, the computer vision field was the classical one, let me say, not the deep one we are seeing today with deep neural networks. But it was super interesting, I think. So I'm very happy to enjoy both fields, the classical computer vision one and the deep learning based computer vision that we can see today. After PhD, I started working as a freelance. In that period, I worked not only in the computer vision, but also in other fields. The industrial one is a field I think is super interesting as one place where you can put on the ground what you learn, what I learned in my PhD in general in my university journey. So I enjoyed this, and I started our company ARGO Vision in the 2016, and from that year to today, we transformed our internal way of thinking the solutions for our customers in the computer vision field. From those, I learned to build during the PhD related to a classical way to work, that is finding the right features, finding the right machine learning model, and so on, to the new ideas the deep learning field gives us. My period as a student, as an undergraduate, I teached in the school, and I enjoyed it for 6 years. It was super interesting to interact with the students. Superior school students are, let me say, sponges requiring for knowledge. So it was good. I left that kind of work because my idea was to teach, but to teach in the university with topics that were more interesting also for me. So I started the PhD. In the end, I was not lucky, because in Italy it was not so easy in that period to reach stability. And another dream was to have a family, so I decided for the family, and I started working as a freelance. But I continue teaching in university for few lessons every year in the computer vision course in Milan. And this is something I do for free, just because I like it. Even now? Even now, yes. Today I met a teacher that is a friend of mine, and asked me to take the usual twice 8 hours of lessons related on generative computer vision, and I will for sure. When do you teach? Generally, the last two lessons of the course. So maybe June, May or June, I don't remember that period. Every year I add something to the previous lessons, maybe removing something deprecated. This year is the text to video generative AI. There are a lot of models like SORA, one of the last we met, but not the only one. And for sure, I will add those topics to the lessons. I think that thinking about video generative tools seems to be more complicated with respect to image generative tools. But from the point of view of professionals using these tools, it's not. Maybe it's more complicated to go to control what the tool is doing, maybe. But the tool is exactly the same, something that helps in their work without substituting. Video generative tools are relatively newer, but if you think about image generative tools, those tools today are used just as support, or let me say tools to generate ideas, a substitution for the human fantasy, maybe. That's strange because it's a computer tool, algorithm complex, but it's an algorithm that produces ideas, but that's it. And I used it also for the slides in this presentation, but just to create little pieces and not substitute completely the work of the graphics. I'm not a graphic, so in that case it is, but the professional graphics doesn't substitute its work with the result of something automatically generated. No, it's, in my opinion, it's useful for both in different ways, but never substituting completely the artist. Maybe changing the way to work of the artist can be substituted the result produced by an AI to the graphics produced by a professional, but only after some prompting work. Maybe the graphical professional, some of them can be translated in prompter. Can use this term? I decided to describe something happened in the computer vision community this year, something like a summary of a little part of the news in the computer vision field. So yes, I will explain how a particular model works. I tried to draw the presentation like a zoom from the idea of deep learning and its history to some interesting details of a particular model we've found in literature. Model obviously super new, something that I found in the literature of this of the last month. No, this month. Yes, it's February, so this month. So something that is, I hope, interesting for the attendee of the conference. So this idea to zoom is to describe the fact that in our field we cannot look at the details, only at the details. We cannot look only at the overall ideas and tools, but we must work at different levels. Like in multi-resolution architectures we deal with. What I will talk about, and this was intentional, and I hope at the end of the talk the meaning, the motivation for this choice will be clear. The name anything derives from the fact that during this year many foundational deep learning models have found their names as something anything, like I don't know, detect anything or segment anything or track anything. And what I wish to show is some details, as I said, but also the macroscopic idea that we are going in the direction of producing and composing foundational models. So we are raising the level of abstraction that our tools have. So we can work with tools that are more complex to create even more complex things. In part because it's something we are working on. We are start working on, but in general, we are interested in, okay. And in part because it was my my interest to deeply check what the literature is doing to get this kind of model faster, and that's part of my topic. So at the end of the presentation, I wish that attendees to understand that it is important to know which are the tools they have and what they can do with those tools, but also the importance of knowing how the tools are done and know the details of the tools they are using. It's like driving a car and knowing exactly how the engine works. To have fun for myself and to see people having fun in attending the talks and in general attending the conference, because networking means know new people interested in the same topics, share experiences. So this is what I intend when I say having fun. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.